Hello, hello, hello. Kimok 7 Live YouTube. I think it's Thursday, March, whatever. But I wanted to put out there a public service announcement. I've been studying infectious disease and epidemiology for 20 years because of autism and the MMR vaccine and a lot of misconceptions and beliefs over the last 2 decades. And I know way too much about it all. So I wanted to put a few things out on YouTube today to not only relax you viewers, but relax myself. I know we're all experiencing a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, and there's several things that you should know and several things that you should teach to your family and your friends. Number one is that this virus is temporary in terms of its spreading. It's going to have ups and downs this year and probably into next year. There is an effort to try and contain it in the United States, and by doing so, try and weaken it over the next several weeks. Try and get to at least summer before this thing becomes so widespread. And during the summertime, it should die down, and then it could reemerge and peak again in the fall. This is a virus that is constantly going to be mutating, and it is going to have symptomatic effects that vary from person to person in a very wide range. One person that's a 40-year-old male could have very different symptoms than another person who is a 40-year-old male. I think for people that are being forced to stay home from school or work or concerts or festivals, you know what? Stay home and enjoy it. Stay home and try and relax. Have more time with your spouse or your kids or your family. Try not to inundate yourself with TV and radio bad news leading the story. I don't believe you need to go stocking up on toilet paper and food and all these essential stuff. Yeah, you may need to go through drive-through at Starbucks for a few weeks rather than go in the store. This is temporary. The stock market dumping is temporary. This anxiety, this uncertainty is temporary. And the more that you remind yourself of that, the more we're all going to get through this together and be fine in the end. Don't forget, there was a massive pandemic, swine flu, just 10 years ago. 1 billion people worldwide were affected by it. 1 billion people worldwide contracted the swine flu, and a very small percentage of them died. This coronavirus is highly contagious, and it may spread faster than the swine flu. It probably will. It may kill a larger percentage of people. But I'm saying all this because the world got through this. The United States got through the swine flu. The United States will get through coronavirus. The stock market will get through coronavirus. Yes, it's going to have some short-term extreme pain on our 401ks and on people out spending money, but there's going to be a recovery. This is temporary. Within a few months, we're all going to know somebody that has contracted the coronavirus, and chances are that person is also going to have beaten it. They are going to not have any symptoms anymore. Tom Hanks and his wife are going to beat this, and they are going to be fine in a few weeks. And during that process, they're going to develop immunity to this form of the coronavirus. We are going to develop immunity for it if we get it, so long as it doesn't highly mutate. These viruses typically get weaker as they spread. They typically don't get stronger. Keep in mind every single day that this is just one of dozens of viruses that are circulating in the United States and around the world. There are several versions of the flu that are circulating right now in your office, at the mall, at a concert, at a sporting event. The other thing that we all need to recognize and acknowledge, what the heck was I going to say? It was a very important point, and I'm going to remember it here. I forgot what it was, but, you know, we're all going to get through this. We all need to take care of each other, take care of ourselves, eat right, exercise, get your sleep. If you're being forced to stay home from work, you know what? It probably might be one of the first times in your lifetime where you're told to stay home from work and get paid to stay home from work. You know what? Try and find a silver lining on it. There's an estimate that 35% of all of us are going to get this virus over the next 3 to 6, 9, 12 months. It's just impossible not to. This virus is sticking on surfaces and lasting for 3 days. This virus is floating in the air in particles when you're around groups of people. So obvious, all the sanitary things you could do to protect yourself, we're all already doing that. I'm carrying around this alcohol spray. I was constantly spraying it on my hands, on surfaces, etc., etc. Did I think that's going to prevent me from getting it? No, I don't. I think we're all still going to get it, and we're going to beat it, and we're going to live. I think it's important for all of us to tell our senior citizen loved ones to stay home, check in on them, bring them food, make sure they are avoiding crowds, make sure they don't have any visitors coming to wherever they are. I just took my 83-year-old parents out for a birthday dinner the other night, and I actually regret it. Thinking to myself, why did I do that? That was not a good idea. They're both 83 years old and completely healthy, and here I am exposing them to a group of people in a restaurant. This virus affects the lungs, the sacs, the pockets in your lungs. It causes inflammation and causes extreme difficulty in breathing. So if you have any underlying pre-existing conditions, this virus is going to crush your lungs and your respiratory system. And it's going to make it very difficult to breathe. I think it's important for all of us to continue to educate each other on the facts. You know, this is not a political matter. This is affecting everything and everyone. Hey, this is the most strangest, rarest time that I remember since 9/11. And it's a rare thing for me to go on YouTube to talk about something other than music and autism. Everyone needs to take a deep breath, try and relax. Try and relax. What goes up sometimes come down, and what goes down sometimes typically goes back up. And I'm talking about the stock market. Panic selling, panic, panic, panic. Panic is self-induced. It's not something that just suddenly happens to you. You put yourself in a panic. People have panic attacks because they build this up in themselves. So if all this stuff is causing you anxiety and nervousness, then avoid it. You got the facts, you got the headlines, it's only going to get worse. So if you're going to sit there and stare at the TV headline news about all this, then it's probably going to cause you more anxiety and more fear. It's not going to bring you any relief. This is going to get worse. When I say it's going to get worse, this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of how many people are going to get infected. There's probably already 1 million people infected that don't even know it. But again, the majority of them are going to survive. They're going to carry on. They're going to live. They're going to beat this. Most of us have really good immune systems. And most of us are not senior citizens. And if you are a senior citizen and you're listening to my YouTube rant, stay home. Avoid crowds. Drink lots of fluids. Try to relax. I'm drinking about 5 or 6 of these a day. I'm on antibiotics right now for, I don't even know what it is. I myself may have already had this. I've been sick for 2 weeks, but I have not had a fever. I have not had a cough. So I think what I have is some sort of sinus chronic thing that I get. Keep in mind that right before all this happened, the economy is doing great in the United States. The housing market is fantastic. The unemployment rate is really low. This is going to have a massive impact on the economy, this canceling of everything. And this impact's going to last at least 3 months. The pain in the stock market is just beginning. But again, if everyone just takes a deep breath and realizes that this is going to pass, try not to sweat it. You're probably not going to lose your job over this. You're not going to lose your home over this. And you're not going to die over this. Okay? That's my public service announcement for today. I have one other thing I want to say, but it skips my mind right now. And when I remember it, I will come back on YouTube and I will talk more about it. Just take care of yourself. All right? Stay home.